Want to first appreciate this group for their numerous supports that have been given to the party so far. I want to say that I'm highly elated. I want to say I'm happy by the spirit. We are indeed, their action today have proved that we are indeed in a pan-Nigerian movement. This is the first time in the history of the country that people are donating in cash and in kind to the growth and development of a political party. I want to say that since 1999, we have never had democracy. It is from 2023 that democracy is going to start. I say so because democracy is anchored on freedom. It's anchored on people's choice. PDP and APC were never owned by the people. They were owned by those who funded it. They were owned by those who promoted it. And they are known by those, they are owned by those who have used it to hold the country captive. Today, the people overwhelmingly responded and started donating offices and started embarking on million march. They have succeeded in proving to them that indeed the people are the structure. I'm sure that by now they have abandoned that narrative. They are now crying and shouting that people should not contribute to the growth and development of the party. They are shouting that people should not contribute funds to the party. But we also saw in their primaries where they were freely sharing dollars, where they were sharing pounds shamelessly. On election day in 2019, we saw bullion van. How they carried bullion van from one point to another point. But that's not the subject matter of today. The point I'm making here clearly is that the people is owning their own political party. The reasons why we have not had development, the reasons why we have not had a say in the affairs of the country is because those other two political parties were not owned by the people. They say he who plays the piper dictates the tone. Today, the people of Nigeria is gradually owning Labour Party. And they will drive the process by themselves. Labour Party is not a party where one man sits there and brings money to fund the party. It is the people that are funding the party. In my state, over 30 offices have been branded and donated to the party. The people are resuming there every day. There is a woman in one of the local government, one of the wards, where they donated offices. There were no chairs in the office. According to the story, the woman sells granuts. Okay. But immediately they opened that office. The woman bought 3 chairs and was the first to resume in the office. And so the point I'm making is that the people are gradually owning their own political party. And by the grace of God, the party will deliver to the people. And so I am happy today that one of those donations have also come to the party. We had an event on Friday. Is it Friday or Thursday? And the public address system failed. It didn't work. And so they took it upon themselves to give us that public address system. So I am very happy and very proud of you. I'm happy that the people of Nigeria have woken up from their slumber and they want to take back their country. Thank you and God bless you.
The health sector is coming together as one group to say enough is enough. If you've been in this country, you will know that doctors usually stay in the hospital during the elections. Pharmacists will stay in their pharmacy during the election. Nurses will tell you, I beg, I don't get strength for that election. But this time around, we are at, and we have come together under the umbrella of Doctors and Medics for Peter Obi. It became necessary when we see the country going so down. And the great country we have is now becoming a training ground for US and UK. In fact, the next agenda in the mind of every medical doctor or every pharmacist or nurse or med lab scientist is to leave the country. And if you don't want to leave, they will say, in head, no correct. They will be looking at you. Don't you want to leave the country? But we want to tell them that we'll stay back and we'll take back our country. Now, the movement started in two different groups, the Doctors for Peter Obi and the Medics for Peter Obi. At a point, we came together. We said, no, we'll not divide again. They've divided us so much. And we are not going to divide ourselves. We want to merge together as the doctors and the medics, where you have a pharmacist in the hospital, you have a med lab scientist, you have a nurse, you even have the cleaner working in the hospital with us. Even the gate man working in the hospital, because they are vital. Politics is a game of number. And these people are people that will go right down to the communities and tell people, look at what we are doing. We incorporated everybody as far as you're in the health sector. Now, we've been growing. The doctors came with over 11,000 doctors, and the medics came with over 27,000 medics. And we met together. We started forming state groups. Gombe State, Delta State, Imo State, Zamfara State. Even that Zamfara, they say people don't used to go. We are there. We go. We started forming state groups. And at a point, we say, no, this is not politics of state. We want to drive down to the local government. We started getting down to the local government. We achieved that. Currently, as I'm talking to you, we have moved down to the wards. Last month, I called the national chairman and also the national secretary. I told them, we have moved to the ward. We have inaugurated our ward leaders, and we are moving. But the good news today I bring to you is that we are moving down to the polling unit. Now, how do we achieve this? Our target is we want to grow up to 500,000 medical personnel. Nurses, doctors, medics, gatemen, everybody that works in the hospital setting or is medically related. When we grow up to 500 medics, we will encourage them that get in touch with 50 people. The 50 people, your patients, your relatives, your friends, your well-wishers. By the time 500,000 people get in touch to 50 people, we have 25 million votes. Our strategy is very clear. with the support of other support group and other people. Without their support, we want to deliver 25 million votes. Now you begin to ask, how do we achieve this? Very simple. Give somebody the right to live. Give somebody the right to be well. He will do what you want him to do. That is the way we want to achieve it. So we started by embarking on medical outreaches. Now I want to say, the chairman in your state, we've conquered that place with medical outreaches. We've gone from some ward to another ward to another. We've done up to 8 within the ward area, and we have gathered enough people for your state in Edo State. The secretary, you're one of us now, you know. You even gave us one representative. We've conquered Kaduna with our medical outreaches. We'll be moving from ward to ward. We'll go to one ward, host medical outreach, call them, and we tell them, you have to vote PO. We are giving you this medical outreach, but you have to vote PO so that you will continue receiving it. If you continue receiving it, if you vote PO, you continue to receive this medical outreach. And by the time you know it, we are convincing a lot of people. Now, during the PVC registration, we looked at it that some people don't want to come out to register for PVC. So we started mobilizing people. We'll go to INEC, we'll tell INEC, please, can we pay your transport, your logistics to so place where you can at least help us register people? They will say, okay, no problem, we are going to join you. Then we'll go to that community. We'll make a noise, tell them, everybody come out, doctors are coming, come and take medical treatment. When you go there the next day, you will see crowd of people coming out. We'll tell INEC, register them. And we did it in 23 states, 52 different locations. And we were able to register thousands of people before the end of the PVC registration. And we were strategic about it. We knew places we are not going to go. We knew places we will register obedient people. I don't want to talk much because of the press issue, but we did it, and we did it perfectly. Now, after the PVC registration, we told ourselves, we won't end there. We're going to do the ward outreaches. We call it, for now that the campaigns are not open, we call it our town.
Labour Party. Labour Party. Forward ever. And all the members of Labour Party here. And in a very special way, women in Nigeria and in diaspora who are also here with me, and especially our national coordinator, Dr. Mrs. Nkiru Okolo. As a matter of fact, women in Nigeria and diaspora for P2B and Yusuf Ahmed is a brainchild of myself. I collapsed the structure when I joined Labour Party. I want to use this opportunity to express my gratitude and happiness too for this warm reception. I was in APGA, and as a national women leader, I served them for 6 good years, from 2016 to June 12th, that's on Democracy Day 2022. That was the day I decided to leave APGA and join Labour Party. When I wanted to leave, my colleagues were not happy with me. They said, you want to leave APGA, the 3rd largest political party in Nigeria then, and become a floor member? And I told them something, that I have seen something greater than my position as a national woman leader. You know, as a mother, I feel the impact of hardship in Nigeria. I feel the pains of what people are going through in Nigeria. Even the gentlemen of the press, beyond your profession, you also feel the hardship in Nigeria. Personally, with no apologies, I see Nigeria as a failed country. I see Nigeria as a failed country because nothing is working in Nigeria. Our economy has failed. Cost of living is nothing to write home about. Most families are not eating any longer. Not even one meal in a day. Our children have been at home for the past 6 months and still counting. What it means that the educational system has failed and there's no solution. If they have solution, they should get their children back to school. The medical sector, I'm sorry to say it, has also failed. That is why you have brain drain in Nigeria. Our doctors are moving to the US, to the UK, and the rest of the world. Are we talking about insecurity? The hoodlums, the criminals are taking over Nigeria. And that is why if you're going to the east, you cannot travel by road again. You must have to fly. And if they have a solution, let them do something about it. There is no solution. And this is because of poor governance in Nigeria. Bad leadership. That is why nothing is working in Nigeria. That is why Nigeria is broken and bleeding. Now, in every family, what everybody is asking, praying for, is a good leader to come and fix Nigeria. Is it not true? Good. Now, the good leader is here. And that is Mr. Peter Obi. I met him when I was working for Fidelity Bank PLC. By then, he was the chairman of the bank. The chairman of Fidelity Bank PLC. He had the powers to influence loans. He had the powers to influence appointment. He had plans to do anything with Fidelity Bank, but he never did it. When he relinquished the position as the chairman and became the governor of Anambra State, he was still the major shareholder in Fidelity Bank, but he never used his position as the governor to take loans or influence anything in Fidelity Bank. You can go and verify. But most governors borrowed money from banks, billions of naira, and they never paid. Is it not true? But he never did it. And before he took over as the governor of Anambra State, Anambra was worse than what Nigeria is today. It was the headquarters of criminals in Nigeria. Go and verify. I was working in Onitsha then. I was robbed and attacked twice on a gunpoint. And that is true. But when he took over as the governor, nobody knew the magic he performed. And insecurity became a thing of the past in Anambra State. I don't want to begin to talk about so many things he did for the state, because if I do, we will not live here today. But there are a few things I want to mention, and these are the things that endeared me, that made me to leave APGA to join this divine movement. Mr. Peter Obi is the most friendly, he is the most gender-friendly governor Nigeria has ever produced. During his tenure, he picked a woman as a deputy governor. During his tenure, a woman was the chief of staff. In short, the first tier ministries of Mr. Peter Obi was managed by women. Go and verify, I'm saying the truth. And I want to believe that was why he was able to save 75 billion for his successor. When he says he left 75 billion, people don't believe it, but it is true. He did. And I know because even his successor was also my boss in Fidelity Bank. He left 75 billion. So now, the women have come together, irrespective of our religious affiliations, irrespective of our party affiliations, irrespective of our tribe. We have come together to work for this man God has given us. God has, in short, appointed to serve this country, Nigeria. And you remember, in every election done in Nigeria, women has always have the highest vote cast. This was even before this new movement began. Then now this divine movement has started, and women have woken from their slumber. You can imagine what will happen in 2023. As a matter of fact, there are over 10,000 only women support groups in Nigeria. And what is our focus and our goal? Our goal is to go from kindred to kindred, village to village, house to house, mobilizing women. And our target is to give His Excellency not less than 20 million women in 2023 to elect him into power. He is our hope. He has the solution to Nigerians' problem. He can fix Nigeria. He has all it takes to give us a new Nigeria. And that is why you see what is happening in Nigeria today. Even the universe. When I talk about the universe, I even mean everything on earth has recognized that there is something going on in Nigeria. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria. It has never happened. This is phenomenal. This is something that has never happened in the history of politics in Nigeria. And it is not for nothing. We believe time has come for a change. We have had it enough. Our women have been raped enough. Our children have been killed enough. We have been kidnapped enough. We need a change. And that change is now. And I want to also tell Labour Party, you people are so privileged that it is through you that God is going to deliver Nigeria. I compare Peter Obi's political journey to that of Jesus Christ, in as much as not comparing him with Jesus. You know why? Jesus was born in Bethlehem. He moved to Egypt and became a Nazarene. And people were like, can anything good come from Nazarene? But it was there that he was able to fulfill his divine mandate. Peter Obi was born in APGA. He moved to PDP. And from PDP, he's in Labour. And people are saying he doesn't have structure. Look at it today. Everybody in Nigeria is the structure. And it is through Labour Party he's going to fulfill the divine mandate by the grace of God. So I want to thank all of you for this warm reception. And I want to conclude by quoting Barack Obama. He says, there is nothing more powerful than a change whose time has come. Thank you so much.
Labour Party, forward ever. Papa, Mama, Pikin. Well, let me, on behalf of the National Working Committee of our party, welcome the former woman leader of National Women Leader of APGA to Labour Party. I want to say that you have made the right decision at the right time. And I'm very, very happy today that we have somebody like you joining the train of change and the train for development in Nigeria. I want to assure you that there will be a level playing field. Whether you have joined today or you joined yesterday, Labour Party is about equal opportunity for all. And therefore, the opportunity and privileges that old members will enjoy is what you will also enjoy. Even the Bible says, those who work or the worker deserve his wages. I want to assure you that as we work, what is due you will be given to you. Is it the Bible now that says, to whom much is given, much is expected? I want to say that I'm indeed very, very humble with the show of support we have got across the country. Not just across the country, across the world. The support has been so mammoth. The support has been unquantifiable. Our opponents are already jittery. They're already afraid of the movement that they are seeing. But of course, they ought to know that it cannot be business as usual. They ought to know that it will not be darkness all through. They ought to know that after darkness, light will certainly come. And I'm sure that the time for light for Nigeria has come. Like she rightly noted, enough of the bloodletting in Nigeria. Enough of the hunger. Enough of poverty. Enough of unemployment. And we dare say that the country has all what it takes to be a great country. But what has been lacking over the years? Lack of leadership. Lack of innovative leadership. Lack of proactive leadership. Lack of leadership with vision to achieve set goal. I'm also again happy that Nigerians have risen to the occasion and that they are ready to take over their country from the few people that have impoverished the country. I therefore want to welcome you. I want to also profusely and deeply show my appreciation to our colleagues in the medical profession. Medics, doctors and medics for Peter Obi. I've had the privilege to join them in their numerous meetings on Zoom. And I want to say that I'm very, very proud of their work. I want to say I'm elated with the level of work and the amount of passion they have put into these projects. And that was why I told my colleagues that I'm going to use no other person except doctors and those in the medical profession to act as our agents in our polling units. My experience over the years have shown that once you cover a loophole in the Electoral Act, they will devise another one. Each time there is an improvement in the Electoral Act, and the regular politicians can no longer use that method to rig election, they change. They study the law and look for a way to beat it. But in this game that is coming, we are ahead of them. And one of the ways that we perceive that this election will be rigged is at the polling unit level. Because if you are going to transmit results after it is counted, after it is signed and you transmit, it means that politicians can no longer rig election at the collation center. Because what they used to do is that they leave you to vote. And then by the time you get to the local government collation center, they will alter the result and put here and say, go and announce, let them go to court. That is what the current Electoral Act has cured by the electronic transmission of results. The only loophole that is left is at the polling unit level. And that is why, as a party, as those that are passionate about this project that wants to win, we must be police, we must be soldiers in that polling unit. And that's why I'm very happy with our colleagues in the medical profession today, that they have taken the bull by the horn. So please get me the list of those you have identified to be our canvassers and to be our polling unit agents. The list you bring will be adopted wholesale. Because we know that with you who are passionate about this project, you won't be compromised at the polling units. What will they give a medical doctor? Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? That will make you to compromise? We believe that if you are there, our votes will count. I will also use this opportunity to appeal to other groups that they should do the same. Synchronize it to your polling unit. That is where the work is now. Let us educate people about the logo of the party. What will be on the ballot paper that day is the logo of the party. It's not Peter Obi's photograph. Peter Obi's name will not be on the ballot paper. It is the logo of the party that will be on the logo party. So as much as possible, we must educate particularly the rural dwellers of the logo of the party. Anyhow, I'm convinced beyond reasonable doubt that come 2023 we will win the election. I'm convinced that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, the political narratives in Nigeria will change. And the political narrative is already changing. And that is why they are no longer sleeping. And I'm sure that after 2023, Nigerians will indeed say that all these their efforts was not an exercise in futility. Because I'm very sure that Labour Party and Peter Obi will reward the people by good governance. We will ensure that the right thing will be done. Infrastructures will be provided. And the whole lot. Campaign has not started. I don't want to be quoted. But when the time comes for campaign, what we have, by the time we put it on the table, I'm sure that other political parties will carry their bag and baggages and know that it is up. And know that the time is up. So conclusively, I welcome you. I appreciate all the support. And we assure you from this end that we'll do what we need to do from this end to continue to provide leadership, to continue to provide support, and to ensure that we deliver Peter Obi under the platform of this party come 2023. Thank you and God bless you.